Okay, I will demonstrate the login to transaction flow of our system. First, a new user access the system and click on the register button. Okay, and this is the registration page. On the registration page, the user can enter their name, email, and the password. And after filling all the required information, the user can click the created account button. Because I already registered the account, so I just go back login page and enter my email and password. Okay, and click login page, login button. Okay, here is the transaction page. Okay, on the transaction page, the user can create a new transaction. The user first selects the products from the available options such as keyboard, wireless mouse, USB-C chart, and uh, for this demonstration, I will select the keyboard and then I will enter the uh, quantity. Okay, for example, it's 2 or 3. Okay, and the shopping address. Okay, 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 and the uh, optional notes. Okay, after completing the form, I click the create transaction button. Okay, the system, the system processes the requirement and requests and stores the transaction information in the database. After the transaction created successful, it's displayed the my transactions section below. Okay, here the user can view the transaction dates, including the product's name, okay, total price, shopping address, and other notes, and the current transaction uh, status. Okay, status is pending. Okay, the user can also update the transaction status using the drop-down menu and click save the update the record. For example, I will choose the console, and click the save. Okay, the status update successfully. Okay, here is changed to the console. Okay, finally, after completing all activities, the user click the logout button. The system securely ends and securely ends the current session and redirects the user back to the login page. Okay, this completes the registration, login, transaction, and logout flow demonstration. Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Jungwei. Today I'm going to discuss about the 5 vulnerability that mentioned in the report in the registration and login page. So the first one, input validation. We can fix it by enforce the strict rules and data types to all the entity, name, email, and password. So if I don't enter a proper email, it will pop up the error message. The next one, we fix the SQL injection and also weak hashing. The first, for the SQL injection, we parameterize the queries. So this one is the code that parameterize. So the SQL injection will not happen again. Next, weak hashing. Before we use D5 as our hashing, now we use Laravel built-in hash, which is more strong and more powerful than the MD5 before, and it cannot be solved or cannot be break easily. So next one, now we're going to login function. So the same thing, the first one, input validation, we also need a proper email and password. So yeah, show the same thing. If I don't give the proper email and password, yeah, the password field is required. Second, secure authentication. This is very important for the authentication system. Yeah. Next one, secure session management. Every time we log in, we generate a new ID to prevent the session fixation. So this means the attacker cannot use the old session that of other users to log in to the system. So it will more secure. And next one, proper error handling. We generate the message to limit information disclosure. So for email, if I don't give a proper email, it will show the proper credential do not match our record. So this can be prevent. This show a clear message to the user that what is the error about. The last one, when we log out, we secure session management, invalidate and regenerate the token. So every time we log out, the user log out, it will regenerate a token and invalidate the all session. It's because the same thing, the attacker cannot use the old session to log in to the system because the old session is invalidate and the user is regenerate a token. So the attacker cannot be entry easily. So that's all my part. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Yu Kai and I will introduce the security improvements made to the transaction module. First, the system now protects transaction access using Laravel authenticated user. In the controller, the transaction list no longer accepts user ID from the URL. Instead, it uses authenticated IDs to verify the user so that each user can only view their own transaction. For example, the system now is logged in as Alice, so the user ID for Alice is 1, and we can see these are the transaction list belongs to Alice. Now we try to use user ID equal to 2, which is another user, and then enter. So we can see that the list remain the same. So every user can only see their own transaction list. Second, SQL injections has been reduced by replacing raw SQL string concatenations with Laravel query builder. The system now uses methods like db table translations, which is safer than manually joining user input into SQL string. Third, the transaction form now validate inputs before saving. As we can see, we have validations for products name, quantity, shipping address, and not. For the quantity, the minimum character is 1 and maximum character is 100. So in the quantity input, it is no longer accept negative value or anything that is outside the validation field. Fourth, the system prevents price manipulations. In this insecure version, the browser submitted a hidden price field. In the secure version, the price is selected on the server using an official price list. As you can see, it uses data from backend instead of browser. So even if a user changes browser data, the backend still will use the correct price. Fifth, the system prevents user ID manipulations. The form no longer sends a hidden user ID. The controller assigns the transaction to the login user using authenticated ID. 6. Transaction output is now escaped in the black view. This prevents store XSS because script tags are displayed as text instead of being executed. So we can try to use this command and then create transaction. So it will store as text instead of executing the function. So finally, transaction status update. Now check ownership. As we can see the function for update status. Before it update the status of a transaction, it check the user. If the transaction list is not belong to the user, it will return an error. Please log in first. So that's all for the transaction module. Thank you.
Good day, Dr. Kufaisal. Now I'm going to showcase the security testing of the web application. So the first test is the SQL injection bypass on it. So I'll start the application. It works soon. So to test the SQL injection, gonna use this all one. So check if it can bypass the password. Now I'm going to intercept with love field. So I've sent to the repeater. Okay, then you can see this thing, then send. So as you can see, it show 3025 found, but it will proceed it will prompt to the login. This means that the script injection failed. And as you can see, forward again, get and forward, then you can see it will show the error. The email field must be a valid email address. Okay, so for the second test is the client-side price manipulation. So to change the price of the item to 0.01. Okay, so now I'll close the intercept. In the browser, let me log in to the account. So you just, as you can see, there are items with their price. So like free for address thing. So now I will open the intercept and create the transaction. So we go to intercept, send to repeater. Then this is the thing, the transaction. So now you see the quantity and the gift wrap, please, the note. So I will add the price. Because the code, the secure code handle the price in the code, so it will not show here. But let me try to insert it manually. Okay, just B025. Then forward. Then you can check this thing. 3 total 59.7. So the price does not change. It remains 19.9. So last testing is the cross-site scripting. So it must not show, the application must not show the alert thing. So let me use this one. So I will inject the script in the node and see will it appear the alert, script alert. As you can see, the application will enter it in as string only. So the script will not be run. Then let me test at when register. So the script will not be run, and it will the application only treat it as string only, so it will not run the script. As you can see, the script is the name of this user. So that's all for the testing.